All right, let's talk about one of those little magic tricks happening inside your computer right now. It's the secret behind that amazing moment when everything just suddenly gets faster. It's a clever technique that pretty much powers every app and website you use, making your whole digital life feel snappy and responsive. Let's dive in.
You've totally felt this before, right? You load up a really complex web page and it takes, a few seconds to chug along. But then you go back to it maybe 5 minutes later and bam, it's just there, instantly. Or maybe you search for something in an app, you wait for the results, and then when you search for that exact same thing again, it's immediate. So what's going on there?
Well, that feeling of digital déjà vu, it's not a glitch, and it's definitely not magic. It's actually a very intentional, very smart technique that's designed to save your computer and you a whole lot of time. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
So here's the core problem, and it's kind of funny when you think about it. Computers can be incredibly forgetful. They'll do some really difficult, time-consuming math, give you the answer, and then immediately forget they ever did it. Ask them the same question again, and they'll start all that hard work right from scratch. This is what we're calling the déjà vu delay. So, what's the fix for our forgetful computer? Well, it's almost ridiculously simple. We basically give the computer a notebook, a little place to jot down the answers to the hard questions it's already solved. That way, the next time we ask, it doesn't have to redo all the math. It just has to look up the answer.
Now, this whole notebook trick, it actually has a pretty cool official name, memorization. It comes from the Latin word memorandum, which basically means to be remembered. At its heart, it's all about caching, which is just a fancy word for storing the results of those tough, expensive calculations, so they can be pulled up and reused in an instant.
Okay, so we've given our computer this notebook, but how does it actually use it? Well, it all comes down to a really simple, logical set of instructions that it follows every single time you ask it to do something.
So whenever a request comes in, the computer follows this simple little decision-making process. And it's this efficiency that's the key to that instant speed feeling we all know and love.
It's really just a simple three-step dance. First, the computer checks its notebook, that's the cache, to see, hey, have I answered this exact question before? If the answer is there, boom, step 2. It just hands you back that stored value, super fast. But if the notebook is empty for that question, it moves on to step 3. It does the hard work, computes the answer, and, this is the most important part, it writes that new answer down in the notebook for next time before it gives it to you. This works so well for what programmers call pure functions. Basically, questions where the same input always gives you the same output. Think of asking, what's 2 plus 2? The answer is always going to be 4.
But you know how it is. This whole thing sounds amazing, maybe a little too good to be true. And like with most things in computing, there's always a catch. There's always a fundamental trade-off. You got to give something to get something.
And here is that trade-off in its simplest form. We are trading space for time. That notebook that's full of all the answers, it takes up memory. It takes up computer space. In exchange for using up that little bit of space, we get a massive boost in speed, or time.
Let's just break that down a bit. The benefit is obvious, right? You get blazing speed. The computer never does the same hard work twice. The cost? Well, you're using a little bit more of the computer's memory to keep that notebook of answers. But honestly, for almost any modern app or website, this is a trade that is worth making every single time. We live in an age where our patience is short, but computer memory is relatively cheap. A little bit of space is a tiny price to pay for a dramatically faster experience. Okay, so this isn't just some abstract computer science theory. This clever little notebook trick is running silently in the background of pretty much everything you do online, and it's making your digital life way smoother and faster.
It's the reason why your favorite social media feed loads images instantly the second time you scroll past them. It's why a big shopping site remembers the results of a search you just did. And for the people building this stuff, the developers, it makes their code incredibly efficient, especially for repetitive tasks, or what they call recursive tasks, where a function has to call itself over and over and over to get an answer. It really is the engine of digital efficiency.
So if you boil this whole thing down, the big takeaway is this beautifully simple principle. If you've already done the hard work to figure something out, just write it down. Don't waste energy solving the same problem twice.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. This powerful principle of trading a little bit of space for a whole lot of speed, it doesn't just apply to computers. What if you could memoize your own daily routines or decisions so you could avoid rethinking the same old problems every single day? It's definitely something to think about.